Hello, welcome to this Wiltshire Caravans handover video for this 2026 Elddis Whirlwind 520 Evolve. Now there is just the Whirlwind 520, this is the Evolve. It's got a few extras on it, but this is just the handover video, so I'm not going to go into that for the moment. I will stop myself falling over that. Going to start around the back as always. So, obviously the Highline brake light, you've still got your grab handles, your light clusters are the same as last year, so you've got indicators, fog lights, marker lights, I should say running lights, brake lights, etc. Pre-fitted, ready for a bike rack should you wish to have one, place for your number plate, and the manual corner steadies. Coming round straight away to the favourite job everyone has, the toilet cassette. You'll notice there's no reservoir, so the flush comes direct off your water feed. You may have also noticed there's two keys. So two keys, one slightly larger key, that's just for the main door. The smaller key does all of the lockers. So you'll know when you'll need to empty the toilet cassette because there's a light that comes on next to the toilet flush. I'll show you that later. But make sure the flap's closed on the toilet. If it's open, you might find some resistance. So if you find resistance, go and check that flap, because if you just drag it, you might break it. And this comes out very handily. You can, got a telescopic handle. So when you get to your, shall we say, the designated area, lift that forward. Take the cap off, put the cap somewhere safe please, don't want to lose that. Forward you go, press the button, that will release any pressure and help the flavour flood out. You'll want to rinse this out then, so I would say put the cap back on, at least that way you still know where it is. Slide back, open the flap, give it a rinse, then close it up. Repeat the process after a flusher up. You might be able to see in there's a float. That float is basically when the cassette is full, that float reaches its zenith, and at that point you will have to, the light comes on and you'll need to go and empty it. Very straightforward, goes back in. What I didn't show you though, on this cap, so you want to put either green or blue fluid in it. A lot of places now are only asking for biological fluid, so you've got measures on here, so you can see there are measures. Now with that, have a look at whatever fluid you're using. On the bottle it will tell you what the recommended amount to go in is, and then you can either dilute slightly or wait to dilute it naturally. And my suggestion is always lock it. Moving along a little bit, we've got the two waste outlets. So you've got waste pipes for your two showers. You've got two showers, what am I talking about? Two sinks, one shower. All right, two sinks, one shower. That's the waste outlet for there. Wheels, they're alloy wheels on here. They're torqued up to 130 Newton meters. There's more information around the other side on those. And then you come round, I very probably should have shown you the freezer vent and the fridge vent. You'll probably think they look quite a long way apart. They are, but it's quite a tall fridge in this one. So in here, battery locker. Strangely enough, this is where the battery goes, in here. Okay, this is your electric hookup. If you have a motor mover fitted, we will fit the isolator in this area as well. Okay. Right, being the Evolve model, you've got an outside shower point. It's cold water only, so dogs and boots would be my suggestion, but it's entirely up to you whether you want to be an exhibitionist in front. Yeah, because there's no awning on this side. Whatever. I'm just going to get the water pump out of the front. Oh yeah, quick handy hint. Push in hard, caught it. Break your thumb, and up it comes. Okay, so there's your outside shower connector. This is your water pump. It's the whale system. So this is the end that goes into the water. That cover just goes over the aqua roll. But to make it work, literally push that in, clip the lid down, and it's ready to go. Put that into the water, prime it a couple of times just to get some water in there. Then when you go in and turn the water pump on, it should be fine. You've also got that little clip part there, so you can make sure that the pump part of it doesn't go onto the floor when you're changing your barrel of water. While we're in here, also in here, being a brand new caravan, and even we do this on our used ones as well, but you get a 25-metre electric hookup, got a gas pipe. We call them pigtails, so if you hear us talking about pigtails, don't panic. You have one completely pointless wheel brace. Well, it's not pointless, but I don't see anyone undoing one of those wheel nuts with that. You have a leg winder, but I suspect most people will get a drill rather quickly. And being part of the Evolve pack, very good, an Alco wheel lock. Insurance companies love them. We're also set up, you can have 2 gas bottles in here, but the regulator's only set up for 1 pipe, so you just have to change that. You might need to get a gas spanner, but we've set them up for propane generally. We can set it up for butane, and they're for either 6 kilo propane or the 7 kilo butane. But for a handy hint, closing these gas locker doors, some people don't give them enough of a heave-ho, so to speak, and you can leave one side out a bit. I would say wide stance, get it to about there, be firm with it. Don't be brutal, just be firm with it, and you'll be fine. Okay, so this is running on the Alco chassis. It's got the Alco ATC, Alco Trailer Control. That's a sensor underneath the chassis, so if the caravan does start to go out of shape at all, it will put the brakes on. Generally, if you're doing normal speeds, you won't have that issue. And the only time you're likely to notice it is going over a speed hump. Coming around to the near side, gas barbecue point. So if you've got a Caddac or any other type of gas barbecue point, that you could just have a bit of pipe, runs off your main bottle. So saves the need for a second bottle. Please don't use one of these in an awning though. That's all I will say about that. Not the best idea. So under here we've got a locker, well, an external locker.
Is that barbecue point because of the Evolve pack?
That barbecue point is indeed because it is the Evolve pack. I did say I wasn't going to... Anyway, all right then. But you also, because of the Evolve pack, you get this external locker and a 230-volt socket. And that's why we've only ordered the Evolve packs. We can get others, but that's what we've ordered. So that's what you're having. Right, as I was saying, luckily, another wheel. I was talking about the weight plate, the weight and the torque unit. So this caravan has a massive running order of 1214. So that's with a gas bottle. It weighs 1,214, maximum plated weight 1,340. Now that gives you what, 126 kilos of payload. However, if you have motor movers, that's 32 kilos on there. So you've got to think about what you're doing. You can get an upgrade rate on these. I'm not sure if it's 1,400 or even 1,500 because it's being this chassis. I'm not entirely sure, so don't quote me on that one.
I think it's 15 because the chassis can take 15.
Yeah, I think it might be 15 because it can take 15. But that would probably mean you putting too many pairs of pants in, to be fair. Right, so also on here, tyre size, tyre pressure, always very important, particularly if you've got, if you're towing this behind you, you want to make sure you've got the right tyre pressure. 51 PSI. Wheel bolt torque, so for steel, so that's the spare wheel that's under here. That's 102 Newton meters. For the alloys, 130 Newton meters. So, nearly about to go in. Awning light up there, TV aerial up there. One thing I do still like about these, you've got the stable door. So you've got the split doors whereby if you've got kids or dogs that you want to keep in or out, you can do so. I do like those very, very much. Right, let's go in and have a look. I'll tell you what, my able cameraman, Mr. Spielberg, can go in and have a look. This is my favourite bit of the caravan, which is a bit sad. It's an enormous bathroom stroke dressing room. I don't think I've ever seen a bigger one in a caravan, particularly of this sort of size. But yeah, I think it's absolutely magnificent. I can't see what you were doing, so. As I was saying earlier about the toilet, where when you know when it needs emptying, that's where the light comes on when the cassette needs emptying. Right, welcome to the Whirlwind 520 Evolve. Fabulously laid out caravan. I think it's all about usable space. Sorry, just some customers going by. I waved. I think they were putting the V's up, but I'm not sure. Probably not. Yeah, all usable space. Got lots of room here. Lots of room. You've even got an extra flaps for workspace. Like I say, for usable space, I think it's fantastic. You could use these as 2 single beds, or they do come together to make a very large double bed. Cracking layout. But I need to show you, probably need to get the door closed, because on last time we had the light shining, didn't we? Right, being part of the Evolve pack, this one has an alarm, although I don't have the fob on me. But when we do a handover, I will show people the pitfalls of having an alarm fob in your pocket. Right, here we are then. So main controls. So you've reversed perfectly onto your pitch and you've plugged in. There's your power. You don't have to plug in, of course you can run on the leisure battery. So main switch, lights, and that's your awning light outside.
And your A-frame light.
Oh yes, yeah, this one.
No, that one.
That's
light as well.
Oh, that one is straight off the A-frame as well. Because I thought that's the offside light, isn't it? We'll find out in a minute when we go back outside and go, no, that wasn't the. Yeah, it is the offside light. Anyway, right. If for some reason you try that and there's no power, there's a couple of obvious reasons. Possibly the battery is flat, but your breaker switches are under here, which I want to show you the control unit, or the consumer unit, I should call it. PDU, other people call it. Basically, it's the box with the breakers on. So you've got all your breaker switches, they're all labelled, and you've got all your fuses down here. Again, all labelled, so you can't go wrong. But if you want to find out if power's coming into the caravan for whatever reason, there is a test button, and it's recommended that you test this every now and then. I have seen it said where some people say test it every month. I think the reality is people don't. But to test it, press that button. If this comes down, we know power is coming into the caravan. Lift it back up, as we see, the lights come back on. So we already knew the power was coming in, but the power is coming in. Clear as mud. Whilst we're under here, is there anything else I need to show you under here? Not really at this point, to be fair. The only other thing to do generally under there is if you have a new water pump and your water's pulsing, it's showing you how to recalibrate. But again, that's another video, another story. Back to where I was. Blind and in the way. Right, have you got that? Yeah, you got that, good. Okay, so well heating and hot water. For the heating side of things, press that one. You've got an option of 3.3 amps, 6.5 amps or 13 amps, or gas or electric and gas as your fuel. So if you're off grid, you're going to go onto gas. If you're on a site, 6.5 is probably where I would go to heat everything up relatively quickly. 3.3 would take an awfully long time to heat it up. Chances are, if you've got 13 amps available, or if you're on a 16 amp site and you're really desperate, you can turn it on to 13 amps. But chances are, if you turn your microwave on, put the kettle on, it might pop the pole. So my suggestions go 6.5. If they are charging for electric on the site, you can then, once it's at temperature, turn it down to 3.3 amps. To set the temperature to the minimum temperature, it's like a thermostat at home. up and down. How warm do you want it to be? The minimum in your caravan. You also have a night mode, so you could set the night mode, and you could set the time for that to come on in the user section, in this settings section, I should call it. Personally, all I ever did at night was that. But entirely up to you. You also have a frost setting. So if you keep the caravan at home, for example, and you have power to it, over the winter, you can leave it on a setting. I know it's down as low as 6 degrees is the minimum. So that would prevent any freezing up. I would still say don't have any fluids in here, but again, I'll get to that a little bit in a short while. I'm going to turn that off because we don't need anything on at the moment, because it's lovely and toasty here. This is an enter button and a return button. So press that. Next one across, hot water. Now I'm not going to turn the hot water on because we have no water in here and I don't particularly want to burn anything out. But your options are 3.3 and eco, or 3.3. 3.3 and eco. I'm not sure if that drops the level down slightly, because you can't just have it on eco, and I don't understand that. But again, you have a frost-free setting. I've made my boss look quite confused now, and he's probably going to tell me off in a minute. If you hear a thwack and ouch, you'll understand. Then you've also got a timed boost. So if you're going to have 2 or 3 people coming in using the shower in quick succession, you need it done in rapidly, you can put a timed boost of, you can have it on electric, 6.5 amps, or gas, or both again. I'll very quickly show you. It goes on for 15 minutes. You can set that for longer, to 30 minutes or even 45 minutes in the settings. Go back. I showed you where that blue water pump goes in. Once that pump is in the water, that is your the button to press to activate the pump, basically. Whilst it's got a yellow line around it, that's because there's no pump in there. That will go green when it's pumping water through. Pumping water is a very important thing about what I need to mention now, particularly coming up to winter time. Getting water out of the caravan, making sure it's all drained down, but we'll get to that very shortly. This icon here is just for the time. Oh, it's not 1:36. For the timer, I should say, and the time. And that's just telling us how much power we've got available. We don't have a leisure battery in here. We're directing the mains. But if we did have a leisure battery only, that would tell you an approximation of where we are with the level at the moment. One of the most common, it's not a fault, but things that happen with these, if you turn the heat, well, when you're on site and you're just about to leave and go home and you've had the heating on, the temptation is to turn everything off, bang, 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 straight off, without letting the heating go on a rundown cycle. It takes about 5 minutes, but when you're just about to go, make sure you turn that off. About 5 minutes, you'll hear the fan stop, in effect, or you won't hear the fan anymore. Then it's safe just to turn everything off. If you don't, it can confuse the system, and the next time you set off and put the heating on, it may come up with an error fault. If it does say that, don't flap. It will also tell you how to fix it, and it will say press left button or press the right button on the IVAN panel, which is what this is, the IVAN panel. While we're still on the panel, press and hold the enter button and you get to your options. You've got user room timer, water timer. Like I was saying, you can set the timing, you can set the clock. So for example, it is now, it's not actually that far away. It's 22 minutes past 1. Although I could be, this is AM. Hang on, I think it is. Oh, yeah. Just showing how easy it is even for an old fuddy-duddy like me to do it. There you go. Time is set. Press and hold again. And you've got your options. The options on here, you can, basically, it's almost like a limiter. Amps, I think, it's going to apply to this system only. So if you think you're going on to a 10 amp site, oh, he says, getting all excited, and you put it down to 10 amps, that's just going to be on for this IVAN system, but the caravan will need more. Personally, I've never changed any of these to anything else. Never bothered. Have you done so, Mark? No. Okay.
Occasionally, some will come in a service that people have.
Yeah,
But
we do see.
The 16 because we want to try and get his max.
Yeah. Water heat booster time, you can change that, as I said earlier, to 30 or 45 or even an hour or forever. I probably would not advise that one, to be fair. 15 minutes would more than likely be plentiful because it is a combi boiler anyway, so it should be okay. Screen off after 3 minutes is the minimum, 5-10 minutes, however long you want to put it on for. Brightness, well, dim. Right, I'll leave it on that because that's me. No, bright. Oh, that's Mark. That should be a pay rise. Anyway, beep on or off. Thank God off. Flashing light on. So if it's flashing blue, it means we're using electricity as our main source of fuel on this. If it's flashing red, it means we're using gas. There's a bit of a surprise. But if you don't want it flashing at all, turn it off. And then you're back to the main supply. So that is pretty much your limit on these things. Which is a good thing because it means you can't really do too much wrong. If you do get into a bit of a pickle, just give us a call and I'll pass you through to Mark, who, no, I won't. Give us a call if you've got any questions and we'll talk you through it. Very straightforward, really nice. I was talking about water, and this is extremely important, especially if I don't know where the water... It's going to do me, is it? Well, I'm going to be editing that bit. Can't be under there. Oh, it can. Is it? Yeah. Right. Editing later on, ladies and gentlemen. So, in the most awkward place of all time, to get the camera in, I don't know how we're going to do that. Right, okay, so at winter, you do not want any fluids in here. That yellow tap there is the drain down tap, okay? So, I would say probably before leaving site, always empty your water out because you'll be carrying an extra, I don't know, 10 to 15 kilos of water, which is, you know, it's a considerable amount of weight that you don't want to be doing. So empty that and make sure all of your taps are open. So your kitchen taps, bathroom taps, both shower and the sink. You will do it at one stage where you'll be all of it excited. You'll put your water barrel in. You say, "Ooh, let's get the water going." You turn the water on. It splutter, 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 and you'll go, "It's not coming through. My caravan's broken and it's terrible." And we'll say, "Have you closed your drain down valve or opened it?" "Okie doke. Thank you very much for your call. See you again." We've all done it. Don't panic. We've all done it. Anyway, but I can't stress enough how important it is to get all the water out of the caravan. Okay, so controls done. Now it's just down to the nicey-niceys. Obviously, microwave is a microwave. I'm not going to teach you how to use a microwave, but there is a plug and a switch there for it, so you don't have to have it on. Obviously, this is a point for the TV. You've got a 12-volt option or the 230 volts. You've got the F-type connector and your standard coax. Here would be the radio. It does have a USB connectivity and an auxiliary. This is your the gain, basically the amplifier for the aerial. The aerial basically works by, normally by undoing that nut, pushing the shaft upwards, and turn the aerial the same way as everyone else has got theirs pointing, unless you're the first on site or if you're off grid. Tighten up the nut, then retune your television. This is the solar panel charger. We set everything up here. You shouldn't have to do anything with that. The only time you might do is if you change your battery type from, say, to a lithium, then adjustments have to be made. Otherwise, the charge unit won't be effective. The rest of it's just cupboard space. Here, nicey. Cup of tea in the morning. Glass of wine at night. Drawer space. As I was saying about the bed, the slats pull out. Move your cushions whichever way you want. Some people want to turn them upside down, some people don't.
If you pull it out, you just need to lift over the stoppers to stop it pushing back.
Okay.
These stoppers here.
Oh, right, okay. So pull out further.
Yeah.
Sorry, should have pulled it right out because it does come out to, well, about here.
Yeah.
So it's a big double. Yeah. Okay. Other than that, kitchen side of things, lots of cupboard space, as I showed you earlier on when I was looking for the drain down valve. Do have to say about the taps and the hot water. The hot water is very hot. It's probably about 65 degrees or so, I think. Do not go onto hot water, whack it up, put your hand under there just to see, test the hot water for washing up. You will scald yourself. It is pretty much instant hot water. It takes once it's heated up. Cooker. So it's a standard Thetford cooker. It's got 1 electric hob, 3 gas burners, separate grill and oven. The spark is there. This has a separate plug, so if you're worried that someone might knock that and turn that on by accident, there is a plug down here, as well as the gas isolator. Now with the gas isolators, they're all set to open at the moment. We generally use propane, so we turn it off and on at the bottle, and at the end of your stay or your holiday, just to purge it, turn the bottle off, turn one of your gas burners on, light it up, and for a quarter of a second it might just flash up. Well, it doesn't flash up, it sounds like it's going to blow up. It's not. It'll just burn off any excess gas. Right, the freezer I should say. Dometic, nice tall fridge freezer. It's got travel locks, so for travelling, so the door don't fly open. Nice size, nice enough, lovely size, and it's probably not much literage more than the under counter ones, but it's a much more convenient height for old people like me. Before you say anything, Mr. Pierce. So press and hold to turn the power on. Okay, so it's gone directly onto auto, but I'm going to go through the modes. So mode to change anything. So the battery, that's not coming off your leisure battery, that's going off the car alternator. So as long as you've got the 13 pin or 2 7s and it's set up correctly, when you're travelling, this will maintain a temperature of the fridge. It won't cool it down from the very start. It has to be cold already. You can also use gas. If you're using gas, if you're off grid particularly, brilliant. You know, it's more efficient, as in cools down faster on gas, and I still recommend every now and then to go onto gas just to make sure the system is running correctly. If you get some warning up here, come up, flash up there, just press that as a reset. Don't panic. You've also got electric, so most people go onto site and they will use the electric. Auto will just switch over as required, so if you unplug the electric lead, as soon as you plug your car back in, it will pop over to the battery, to the alternator. Change temperature, very simple. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. I sound like a parrot. Turn the fridge off, press it once, then press again and hold, and that will turn off. Bathroom we've kind of looked at. I just want to show you an important thing with the bathroom. I did show you with that's where the light comes on. I was talking about having the flap open. So when you're, these do swivel around by the way, but when you've done what you need to do and you've released everything in, make sure before you try to take the cassette out, that flap is closed. Vitally important. Otherwise that's when there's resistance, and if you pull too hard you might break the system. Other than that, these I've got these skylights, literally just hold forward, they'll hold in, but make sure when you close them that the plastic fingers in effect go into the lugs. Blackout blinds and fly screens all round. Most of them in here are the literally fold down, hold down. When you release them, hold on to them, don't let them go. We have got an Omnivent, which is part of the Evolve pack, right?
Along with the solar panel.
Along with the solar panel. Oh, I didn't mention it was, but yeah. So open up the flap. You do need to remember to keep that, to close that down. Be gentle with these. They don't like being rushed. So press once. Let it have a think about it. Then you can slowly but gently let it use. So you can use it as an extractor. I'll give it a little whirl. Give it a little whirl. Oh, well, I didn't mean to say that. But then you can increase the speed as well to bring air in. So it's very useful. Press off, but like I say, make sure before travelling or rain, you close the flap. It does have a blackout blind on this as well. You just remember, you've got to hold on to it because there is quite the spring on it. Bring it across. The only other different, this is a slightly different type of hecky. So press the button down, and you've got various levels where you can go. If you're taller than I am, as far up as you want to go. And again, blackout blinds and fly screens. That's pretty much it, I think, for the for this fantastic Whirlwind 520 Evolve. Please give us a call. 0137.
Another bonus.
Is there one other bonus?
For the Evolve.
Go on.
Wi-Fi.
My goodness, I didn't find it.
Wardrobe.
It was in the wardrobe. Excuse me, my phone is ringing, but I'm ignoring it. I didn't mention a part of the Evolve. It's a double bonus. We have got Wi-Fi, 4G Wi-Fi, and that is an absolute freebie. Obviously, this is where your standalone table is, but that is all part of the Evolve pack. Excuse me a second, so, I'm just going to take this call. This is the Whirlwind 520 Evolve with all the extras. I think this is a lovely caravan. I think the Evolve makes it with the Whirlwind range. That's why we've ordered them. I like that. If you are interested or have any questions, please give us a call. 01373 752 100. Option 1 is sales. We've got giggling outside because they know we're recording in here. So again, if you want to contact by email, sales@wiltshirecaravans.co.uk. Our web address is wiltshirecaravans.co.uk. We love it when people come to see us. We're at 36 Headquarters Road, Westworld Trading Estate in Westbury. The postcode is BA134JR. We're on YouTube, which is probably where you're watching this. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Just go and have a look at the TikToks. They're not necessarily strictly all work related, but go and have a look at some of our TikToks. Bear in mind, most of it is just a joke. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching. If you do enjoy these videos, please like the video and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. We'd appreciate it. Thanks very much. Bye-bye for now.